What's up guys, it's your girl Gxlden.Chvld and I'm coming at you guys with a different type of video. Like as you see, there wasn't any intro or anything like that. Yeah, I'm probably also not going to be doing much editing on this video because it's not that type of video. I'm talking about something pretty serious. Yeah, the video isn't clickbait. This actually happened almost a week ago actually happened. I'm filming this right now, which is 11:25 on May 25th, so this happened almost a week ago. It happened Wednesday of last week. Yeah, exactly as my title said, my stepfather punched me in the face. And I'll be talking about what led up to this, what happened exactly, a bunch of things. And I also recognize that me making this video, it would be admissible in court because the situation is most likely going to court. I'm taking this very seriously. It's not just going to be brushed under the rug because no one putting hands on you is ever okay. So, and that's also part of why I'm making this video, because somebody needs to hear this, like hear my story, like hear that just because like someone is supposed to be your family, like that doesn't mean that they can put hands on you. Like it doesn't mean that you should have to deal with what I'm dealing with right now, what I dealt with, any of that. So I'm making this video to disclose what happened. I made a list of reasons because I'm going to be saying a lot. I made a list of reasons why I'm making this video. Like I said, I have a lot to say. No one is protecting me in the situation, so I will not be granting protection. Like, I'll get to what's happening, but basically my stepfather just isn't really dealing with any hardship at all, versus I, for all of last week almost, was trying to figure out where I was going to stay after the situation, like being stressed out about the whole thing. I'll talk about the other reasons why I'm making this video after, because probably what a lot of people want to know is just exactly what happened. So, it was Wednesday of last week, like I had said, so just to provide dates, that would make it the 19th, which was last week. So I was getting my key fixed because my car key had been broken for a while. Like I had the actual physical key, like the part that goes into like my car and like turns it on, but the remote part was like broken, like it kept breaking off of the thing, so it's obviously not gonna work. I was worried about losing it at some point. Anyways, I called someone over to fix it because got tired of dealing with it. It just so happened that my stepdad got home at the same time, so like yeah, he just happened to be there. I was handling my business and he just decided to be nosy and just be bothering the guy and just being annoying. Like he wasn't necessarily like serving any purpose. He just wanted to like poke his nose and everything, and he was also being rude to the guy and like being rude to me. Like in arriving home, like he was like screaming at me trying to ask who the guy was. Like, can you not be polite? Like it was pretty obvious that he was like there trying to help me with a service. Like he had a van, like he had like a van from the company. Like it was just weird. Also, you guys are gonna see me stopping and starting the video because I can only record videos of like of so long of a length on my camera. So it's gonna be like every like 2 minutes I gotta like stop and start again. But yes, so he just arrived at the same time. He was just being rude. I can find receipts of times that everything happened. So I have the key guy's phone number. I made sure I kept that so that the video is cohesive and I can like have timestamps for the video and everything. So the guy got to my house at 7:18 on Wednesday. I know this because I have the call stamp in my call log, because when he arrived I was sitting in my car and he called me because he didn't see me, so that's when he got there, 7:18. And then 911 was called at 8:24 p.m. So just to give some ideas of time, so within the time of 7:18 that the guy arrived, like my stepdad maybe got to the house like maybe 2-3 minutes after the guy arrived. So between that time and that 911 was called, the guy was fixing my key, doing his thing, like what I called him to do. And like I'm saying, like my stepdad is just being rude, but he's just honestly a rude person. So that wasn't the part that was out of the ordinary yet. That wasn't, like, that's not the climactic part of the situation yet. So I had to give the guy stuff to fix my key because, yeah, like my key was broken, the remote was broken. I bought a new remote thingy on Amazon. Like I tried to fix it myself before calling the key guy. That part isn't really important, but I had the remote thing I bought on Amazon. I wanted to see if I could still use it. So when the guy was almost done fixing my key, like the climactic part is more towards the end when the guy was like almost done fixing my key. To give some more perspective on the key guy and like his setup or whatever, because that makes a difference. Like if you guys know what like basic white vans look like, you know, the like creepy type of like white vans, imagine one of those, but it wasn't a white van, it was like a blue van. It was the company's van. It was like this key company that fixes keys, all kinds of keys. Anyways, so you know what those white vans look like. They have the door on the side of it that just, it goes like that, like, I don't know how to say that, like the door that you just like, you pull over like that. And inside of like his truck he had like, inside his van he had like this little office, like that's where he fixes his keys. He has all this stuff laid out in his like little van and everything. So he was fixing my key in there just to give some perspective on like the environment, the scene of what happened. So it has one door. You guys know how big and wide those doors are. So it would be perfectly possible, and it would definitely make sense for two people to be able to be in the doorway of one of those doors and both converse with someone inside the van if need be. It wasn't necessarily a problem in and of itself, my stepdad being nosy, because maybe to some degree he was trying to be protective or something, like make sure the key guy wasn't taking advantage of me. I don't know. That part isn't the problematic part yet. We're not at the climactic part of the story yet. So yeah, you guys know how big those doorways are. Instead of like maybe me taking up half the doorway, him taking up half the doorway, so we can both see and watch what the guy's doing, talk to the guy if need be. He's taking up the whole doorway. Like he has his arms up on the truck too. He's just standing in front of the whole thing, just watching the guy. He's not talking to the guy. He's not doing anything like serving any purpose. And obviously it's my key getting fixed. I called the guy over. I want to reiterate, he just so happened to get home at the same time. He didn't have to be there. It wasn't really his business. And I was paying for it myself. And again, with him being rude, like, oh, he had called my mom talking about, oh, how I'm getting my key fixed and that I have to start paying for my own stuff on my own. So, like, really him being there, he had no reason to be there. I was handling my business. And, like, I had paperwork from the guy, too. Like, I'm going over the paperwork with him, like, asking why things are, like, such price. Like, I'm looking at a lot, like, I'm handling my business. And I need to get by, like, to talk to the guy. So he's sitting in his truck. And then my stepdad is just, like, blocking the whole doorway of the truck. But I try to be polite about it. Like, I had to walk back and forth maybe, like 4 times, to either get stuff in my car or inside the house to bring back to him to the truck, because like I said, I bought my remote thing on Amazon, so I was trying to see if he could take the pieces of my broken remote and put it in the new Amazon remote. Like, I was just trying to like sort things out, like I was saying. Yeah, so I went back and forth like 4 times to get stuff inside the house or my car to bring back to the key guy. The first 3 times, like as I said, he has his arms like up on the door like this, just blocking the whole door with his body, even though he doesn't have to. He's honestly just being rude. The 3 times am I going back and forth, I'm like, excuse me, and he moves. But the 4th time, I'm like, excuse me, and he doesn't want to let me move. I mean, not let me move. He doesn't want to move for whatever reason. I don't know. He was talking about how, like, oh, what I have to give him isn't important, like how it's trash anyways. Which, even if it was trash, even if he felt like, well, I don't have to give the guy whatever I'm trying to give him, it's my business. He doesn't have to be there. Like, he's literally just standing in the way. Like, I think in recanting the situation, what's agitated me the most is, like, it doesn't make sense that people ask me why he would do that. There wasn't an actual reason that makes sense. He wasn't serving any purpose. He wasn't trying to help. He was just being rude and being nosy. And another thing that someone had told me in my recanting of the story is like, oh, could I have just like went to the other side and looked through the other door? No, that was the one opening. And even if there was another door, another way for me to see or talk to the guy, I was handling my business. And I said, excuse me, I said, excuse me, I was polite about the whole situation up until the end. So anyways, we're gonna keep going. So, as I said, the 3 times of me going back and forth, I said, excuse me, he just moved. The 4th time, he didn't want to move, talking about, oh, whatever I had to give the guy was trash. So, I get tired of saying excuse me. I might have said excuse me maybe 2 or 3 times, and then I said that, oh, I had to give the guy something, and he wasn't budging. He was just kind of like ignoring me at this point. So, in him, again, on top, like arms on top of the van and everything, just like blocking the whole doorway. Like there's a little opening, and I like squeeze past him. Like I'm kind of skinny. Like that little opening, I was able to like squeeze past so I could like give the guy what I wanted to give him and talk to him. And obviously, like in my stepdad not wanting to move, he got pushed. Like if he is blocking the whole doorway like this, and there's like a little sliver for me to get through, and I squeeze past, he's getting pushed. He didn't want to move. I said excuse me several times. I tried to explain like, well, I had to get by. He wasn't doing anything. I squeezed by and he got pushed. And then he had pushed me back, and after him being pushed because he just didn't want to move, because he just didn't want to for whatever reason, he pushed me, and then I pushed him back, and then he punched me. And I'm not exaggerating, full on. Someone asked me this, like, oh, did he hit you like fist close? Yes, he punched me. Like, you guys know what a punch looks like. I have nails, so I can't like make a good fist, but you know what punching means. He literally punched me in my mouth. And my mouth bled a little bit. Now, it wasn't some big, nasty, huge bruise or anything to that extent. I had a small cut on my mouth. It wasn't anything like massive that like, oh, like it's so obvious that someone punched you in your mouth. But I have a cut. Like I had a little thing. I made sure I took a picture of it. But yeah, I'm like obviously not making this up, but like I feel so defensive about the situation and have to say that I didn't make it up, because I'm gonna get to this later in the story, but I've been made out to be like a liar so severely over this situation. I mean, we're gonna get to that. I'm trying to like stay on task because it's been a lot going on. Like how I said, it's almost been a whole week since the situation happened. There's been a lot, so I'm gonna try to like stay on task and like keep with the timeline that everything is happening. So as I said, at this point he just punched me in my mouth, and like that was of course a shock. Like I started like crying immediately. Like I'm in shock, I'm shaking, my mouth bled a little bit. And at that point, like, I just, like, go into the house. Like, the guy was outside, like, in his van, obviously, like, outside the house, in front of the house. And then my stepdad is still there. I just go inside the house. First thing I do, I call my mom, and I tell her I'm not staying here anymore. And then, like, I'm trying to hold it together, like, not cry on the phone talking to her. But at this point, I've had it. I'm crying on the phone to her, telling her I'm not staying here anymore. But I'm crying so hard I can't necessarily, like, explain what happened. Yeah, I may have told her that you punched me in the mouth at this point, but I may have been crying too much to have told her. But I called her first, and then I hung up off the phone with her. I called 911. I was still crying, so it was hard to talk to them, but I told them what happened, and then within like 3 minutes they had pulled up. So for that I'm thankful for, because I don't know, maybe at some point my stepdad might have like come into the house, and I don't know. So very soon after I called the police, they were there. At this point, I'm still hysterical though. Like, I've never been punched in the mouth before by anyone. Like, I never had a man like raise a fist to me and punch me in my mouth before. So y'all can imagine how hysterical I am. Very hysterical. It was very bad. But the police come. I talk to the police officer. He comes into the house and he makes sure my stepdad is outside. he actually tried to like not come inside. He tried to like peek in through the front door and like try to hear what I was saying. But the police officer was like, no, close the door, go back to the front. And yeah, so he was trying to like, I don't know, be sneaky with that. But again, I'm hysterical, explaining the situation. The police officer asked me stuff like my name, my stepdad's name, my mom's name, like where my mom is, all kinds of stuff, like the basic stuff that they ask and everything. And shortly after that, my stepdad is arrested and everything. Yeah, there wasn't that much to it. So he got arrested. He went to jail. They were holding him for like a few hours. So like I said, 911 was called at, let me look at the time again, guys. They were called at 8:24. So let's say, I don't know exact time, but let's say maybe half an hour after they were called, my stepdad's arrested. He goes to jail. I don't believe he gets out until like maybe 6 a.m. is what the police officer that I was talking to told me. Yeah, the police officer that I was talking to, I corresponded with him a little bit after he left my house too. He called me to ask me a few questions, stuff like, oh, if anything like this has ever happened before, if my stepdad is on drugs, if I'm pregnant, other type of questions that I don't remember. But he was just asking me like a few questions because that's, I suppose, protocol and everything. So yeah, soon after that, my mom's like trying to call everybody because she didn't know what's going on. Like she was at work when everything was happening. So first she just hears me on the phone crying, and then I think she got a call from my aunt talking about how my stepdad had just gotten arrested. Like, she don't really know what's going on, but she leaves work ASAP because she obviously, like, sees that this is an emergency. She leaves work, she comes, no, she went to the police station first, she had said. She went to the police station. I don't know what she talked to over there, I wasn't there. But she came home, she asked me what happened, I explained it to her. She wasn't the most supportive from the gate about the situation. Like, I'm hysterical, crying about everything. And then something that really bothered me, I'm hysterical crying, like, I'm telling you guys, I'm hysterical. And then she tries to, like, scold me for raising my voice at her. Like, I'm hysterically crying, and your main concern is that I'm crying loudly, and you think I'm raising my voice at you when your husband just punched me in my mouth. Like, that's always going to bother me that that was her main concern. Just her take on the whole situation, just how she's been about the whole situation, how she's gone about it, is bothering me. And will continue to bother me, and it's bigger than the actual situation. So yeah, everything happened. My mom talked to me. By this point, I had already texted and called my boyfriend and told him what happened. Yeah, I tried to ask him to leave work. He unfortunately wasn't able to leave work, but the situation, I suppose, stabilized itself. Like, that's really not a stable situation at all, but I mean, I stopped hysterically crying. I was able to collect myself as much as I could. I knew that that night I wasn't staying there. I knew that my stepdad was getting out of holding, because they can only hold him for so long. He was getting out at like 6 a.m. So I knew that when he got home, I wasn't going to be there. Excuse me. I left the house. I went to my friend's house. I'm currently still at my friend's house now. Yeah, so I didn't want to be here when he got back, obviously. So, yeah, I've been at my friend's house almost a week now. I'm not staying here. I figured out my arrangement. I'll be here for a little while longer, but I figured out an arrangement. But I kid you not, guys, it's Tuesday. As of only Monday, I knew where I was going to stay. So from Wednesday to Monday, before like everything was kind of finalized, I didn't know where I was gonna stay. I was stressed out because like I didn't know where I was gonna go. Like, I planned to get my own apartment probably next year, like next fall. So that's what I was planning for. I didn't have money saved. Like, I wasn't ready for this type of emergency where I have to scramble and figure out like where I'm going to stay. Now, also, in me talking about like where I'm going to stay and everything, when everything first happened, like when I told you guys, like my mom came back from work and then was like asking me what happened. She eventually had gone back to work because her staying there wasn't going to do anything. She had to go back to work after talking to me and going to the police station. What she originally said was, I'm not kicking you out. If you want to stay here, you can stay here. If you want me to keep paying for your car, paying for your school, like, I will be doing that if you stay here. That's what she had originally said. Now, of course, I don't want to stay there because that all just happened. Like, I got punched in my mouth by your husband and you think I'm going to stay here. That's not happening. So that's where I was at with the situation. But what I had eventually decided is, like, I'm about to be a senior in college. Like, I'm about to graduate. The car, not really a big deal. I can live without a car. But I started school. I'm about to finish. Like, I just wanted to get my diploma and get out. Like, it was tunnel vision. That's all I was really worried about. So I was like, I'll stay, but he better not talk to me. I'm not talking to him. That's it. I just want to graduate. That's essentially what I had told her. But she had changed her mind, like, after seeing the severity of the situation. Like, I didn't really want to be there anyways, but she's still going to be paying for my school and paying for my car, but I'm not going to be home. I don't want to be there anyways. Like, it wasn't that I wanted to be there. I just want to finish school. But adding on to that, she was like, oh, I just can't be in the house with how intense everything is. Like, essentially, my stepdad was like, oh, we can't be in the same house, so it's either me or her. So y'all know who she obviously chose because he's in the house and I'm not. So that's where things are with that. And yeah, like I said, or maybe I didn't say this already, that's a reason I'm making this video, because he gets to be in the house comfortable. He did something, he caused the problem, he committed the crime, and he's in the house comfortably, versus for like almost a whole week I've been stressing and crying, just depressed over like where I'm going to be staying, where I'm going to live, if I'll have to sleep in my car. Now, for those of you like who don't know already, who don't really know me, like, I struggle with depression and anxiety. So you can imagine the week I had. This has honestly been like last week being the worst week of my life, without a doubt. And it being a whole week is the only reason I'm able to like sit and talk about it without like crying. Like, it's not because it doesn't hurt. Like, I'm hurting. It's just, I suppose I'm in a better place with it because I'm not worried about like having to sleep in my car anymore. Like, I have things sorted out to a certain degree, so I'm able to like talk about it. I also went back to work today. Today was my first day back at work. I like called out of work for like the whole week because like I'm a host. Like, that's what I do at work. So I can't smile in people's face, act like everything's all right. I don't even know like where I'm gonna sleep that night. Like, I don't know what's going on with my life. I just couldn't go to work. So that was emotionally affecting me, financially affecting me. I think the most hurtful part of the situation is my mom not believing it. My mom being on my stepdad's side. Like, she didn't like actually like say it like to me, but she told like other people, and they had like told to me that she doesn't really believe that he could do that. Like she could never believe that, oh, that Kim, who's taking care of me since I was like so little, blah blah, that he could like punch me, even though like there's a witness. Like, that's something I forgot to tell you guys. The key guy, the guy who's fixing my key, he's a witness. He told the police that he saw my stepdad like swing on me. Now, punch me, he didn't actually see, because the way that his truck was, like I said, it's like a van. So like when his fist like actually like punched me, he wasn't able to like physically like visually see that, because like the part of the van was like blocking it. So like, say like the van like blocking this right here, like if he punched me, like it was like right there, or like even more past, like he couldn't have seen that. So he said that he did see my stepdad swing though, and he heard me scream. So obviously I got punched. So there's a witness too. So say hypothetically someone who isn't so fond of me sees this video and tries to say I'm lying, there's also a witness. So it's not just my word against his. So, but like I said, I think that's the most hurtful part of the whole situation. That's what had me the most depressed, because firstly I have to deal with the man putting his hands on me, being punched in my face. I have to struggle and just be so anxious about figuring out where I'm going to live because of something that he did. Whereas he's comfortable in his house. He's just lying about the whole thing. He's telling everybody that, oh, he could never do anything like that, that I'm making it up. He disrespected my boyfriend and saying that, oh, it's maybe my boyfriend that like thought of this idea, made up this plan for me to say that all this stuff happened, make everything up. Now, he's never liked my boyfriend, but that's disrespectful. He's disrespected a lot of people in this situation. He's also disrespected my mom in lying to her. She maybe doesn't even believe it's a lie. What's done in the dark is gonna come to the light, so that's not even what I'm worried about. What's done in the dark is already starting to come into the light. Like, I'm not really worried about the outcome because my conscience is clear in the situation. I know what I did. I know what I did not do, and he knows what he did and what he didn't do. He knows that he's lying, and like I said too just now, there's a witness, so he can go on talking about like, oh, he didn't do it. But that's a saving grace, because say that it was just my word against his, there's someone else who's a witness. Like, he can say I'm lying, but why would this random guy who came to fix my key, why would he just lie? It just doesn't make any sense. So, but yeah, it was really hurtful, my mom saying that like she just really doesn't believe it, even though she didn't say it to me. To be dealing with everything I'm dealing with, like not even be able to be comfortable in my house, like just being displaced, and then having to deal with all that on top of it, like it hurts to not be believed. Like when you're really hurting, that was definitely the worst part of all of it. I mean, I'm doing better. Like, I also know that the point I'm at right now, like she's gonna know the truth, because anyways, I can make another video talking about like how things are getting better, what's getting better about the situation, because I don't want to be talking for like 2 hours and you guys don't want to watch a 2-hour video. But the situation is resolving itself to some degree. Where things were last week, almost a week ago, everything happening, that's not the same place things are at. I'm not as helpless anymore. I'm not struggling as much anymore. I know where I'm going to be. I'm moving. I'm not gonna necessarily disclose like where I'm going, but I'm moving. I'm moving somewhere that I think will be good for me to a certain extent. I can say a little bit about it. So I'm gonna be living with my actual dad. The only thing with that is that he's kind of a stranger. Like, I know that he's my dad, but I only met him like a few years ago, so, and we don't really have much of a relationship, so he really is a stranger. But we'll see how that goes. I mean, yeah, that can be another story itself. Like, I guess I'll be making like parts, maybe talking about like the stages I'm at with everything and what's going on, but it's just a lot to say. Like, I feel like everything going on, like I've like lived like a mini movie or something. It's a lot going on. But yeah, I'm gonna be living with my actual dad. I'm gonna be like moving probably like June 1st. I'm already looking for jobs in the area that I'll be at, like trying to like get settled. Like if I have to buy a couple new things to accommodate for me being in a smaller room, like I'm trying to figure that out. Like how I'm gonna get to school, like commuting to school. Like I'm really moving. Like I really, within a matter of a few days, like my life got turned upside down, and I'm trying to like rebuild it and just figure it out as I go. I mean, I have some direction right now, but I hope no one ever has to, I don't wish on my worst enemy all the stuff that I was dealing with, to be stressed, like just crying, stressed out, thinking about if you're gonna have to sleep in your car, like being homeless. Like last week was really the worst week of my life, and there's like so much that I could say, but I think I've covered the basics. Like I wanted to divulge upon what happened, and this is me telling you guys what happened. And I also wanted to like touch upon like why I'm making this video. Like I made a list. I said some of it, but yeah, I made a list. Other reasons were, I'm not going to be retelling this story like dozens of times. Like everything was really painful for me, so why would I want to go over this story like dozens of times? Like I'm telling y'all what happened. This is what happened. That's it. I don't want to go over it like a dozen times. And I've remained silent about like prior abuse. Like he's never punched me in the face before, but there's been prior abuse emotional, physical. There's been prior abuse. So I'm not going to be silent this time. He's going to have to face justice. Justice is going to be served. And that leads to another reason that people need to finally see him for who he is, especially my mom, who thinks that he's this like great person because, oh, he's been with her since I was like 6 months. Oh, he had taken care of us, this, and that. It doesn't matter who he's taken care of for how long. Nobody will ever have the right to punch me in my face. Nobody will ever have the right to abuse me. And I stand firmly on that. She can deal with whatever she wants to deal with. That's not my husband. That's not my dad. She can do whatever she wants to with him. That's none of my business. Nobody's going to put their hands on me. No one's going to punch me in my face and not have to face justice and not have the police called on them and not get arrested. That's not how it works. So, also another reason, he's lying about it, saying that it didn't happen as usual. That's another, like, really hurtful thing about it. It happened to me. And then he's going to, like, lie about it and make it look like I'm just crazy, like making stuff up. Yeah, he's lying about it. He's sitting comfortable in the house as though nothing happened. He's lying about it. Like, I'm going through hell, and he's just lying about it, just saying it didn't happen, something that he caused. Another reason, which I've already said a bunch of times, like, I was displaced trying to figure out where I'm going to stay, whereas he's just chilling. And this is a note that I made too, I will not have experienced the worst week of my life at the hands of him for him to receive no consequence. I already kind of said that with different words, but yeah. And I think, like I said at the beginning of the video, somebody needs to hear this. Like, somebody needs to hear, like, what I'm going through and hear that even, like, somebody who's supposed to be your family, nobody has the right to put their hands on you, like, punch you in your face, commit any type of abuse to you. Even if it's emotional abuse, you don't have to deal with that. So, yeah. I think a big part of it is really that I don't want to be telling this story like dozens of times because it's really hurtful. Like, I look fine. I am fine. Like, I'm a strong person. But this is really a lot for me to deal with right now. And I'm still dealing with it. The situation isn't over. And it'll probably forever hinder me because that was very traumatic. Now, some of you sweet people out here, you're going to be like, oh, how? Like, asking how you guys can help me. First things first, I'd want to, like, I suppose shout out some people who, before me making this video, I kind of told about the situation, at least a little bit, or asked them, like, if they know anything about, like, anybody, like, renting any rooms. I appreciate, like, all the help that I've gotten, like, some friends offering to let me, like, stay with them, some of them, like, finding out info about rooms for me. I really appreciate you guys. I know where I'll be staying for now, but if you guys, like, know anybody who's, like, renting any rooms, like, renting any apartments for not so expensive, you guys can still forward me that info because, like I said, like, I've never, like, lived with my dad. Like, I'm also trying to, get a higher paying job, so, I mean, God forbid it doesn't work out at my dad's house. Like, I mean, he's nice, like, he's trying, but God forbid, like, I just don't like being there. I want to, like, have my own money. So not be in a situation ever again where, like, I'm thinking about if I have to sleep in my car, I gotta have money so I can know where I'm gonna go if I gotta go. So you guys can, like, feel free to, like, send me info about, like, rooms or, like, apartments, or share this video also. You can share the video to someone who maybe, like, has any of that type of info, like, is renting a room, has apartments, anything like that. You can share the video to someone who's dealing with domestic abuse and, like, just doesn't know what to really, like, do about it, doesn't know how to handle the situation, needs support. I can lend support, well, as much support as I can. Yeah, that's what I suppose can be done to, like, help me. But, like, I'm figuring it out. I mean, this is more me just talking about it because talking about it is somewhat healing. Like, it hurts to talk about things, but it's a part of the healing process, and I really feel deep in my heart that this video is going to help someone. And I just had to, like, get it out. Like, this is a part of my releasing. I'm trying to release. So, yeah. I was thinking about questions you guys may be having about the situation. Of course, if you have comments, you'll just comment questions too, or like whatever you guys want to do. Another thing you might be thinking about is, oh, if I'm gonna press charges, that's to be determined. Like, that can be another video again, so this video isn't super long. I might not, because a big part of it is him lying about it. If I dismiss those charges, he can just continue lying, acting like he didn't do anything wrong, acting like I made everything up. So that's a reason I'm more leaning towards not dismissing the case, not dismissing the charges, because he doesn't get to live his best life, versus I'm struggling because of something that he did, and he just gets to live his comfortable life, like just lying about everything, having my mom thinking that he didn't do anything wrong, just being slimy as hell, and like me just struggling. That's not what's gonna happen. If I gotta press charges, that's just what's gonna happen, because justice needs to be served. I mean, again, I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I've never even been to a court. I don't know how court proceedings go. I may or may not press charges. I'm not really like there yet. I'm just trying to settle myself. Like, I'm not exactly at this point worried about, oh, pressing charges, what's gonna happen to him, da-da-da. A couple of days ago, I didn't know where I was gonna be sleeping, so I'm just trying to settle into my life, make sure I'm alright, worry about myself, because no one was really trying to protect me. Like, nobody was really worried about me. Like, as alone as I felt, I hadn't felt this alone in a while. Like, of course I had my friend, I'm staying at her house. Like, I had my boyfriend, he was being supportive. I had some people that I was talking to about the situation, trying to help me. But just like that the situation even happened, and my mom like not really believing me. Like, I had all the people in the world trying to like support me and hug me, but I felt alone because that hurt. This video is probably already super long, guys, but I think I said all that I wanted to say in this video without it being like too long. So that's essentially what happened. Yeah. And as you like notice too, like any of you guys who watch my videos, I don't have my usual setup. I haven't been at home. Like, I'm not like somewhere that I'm comfortable like filming videos. Like, I'm just at my friend's house. Like, I tried to find somewhere quiet to film this video. Yeah, but that's what happened to me. And if you're watching this video, like if you made it to the end of the video and you watched it, I really appreciate you, because something I firmly feel is that someone who's dealing with any type of situation, like especially a situation where they aren't being believed, like someone listening to them, somebody believing them, means the world. It means everything. Somebody caring, because also too I felt like just nobody cared about me. Like, of course I had some people that cared about me, but you know when you're just like down and out, and just like you feel like everything's against you. Like, I've been going through it. Yeah, like I said, like last week might have been one of the worst weeks of my life, but like I'm here and I'm gonna deal with the situation. I'm dealing with the situation. Like, I can't get around it. Like, I'm getting through it. There's no way to get around it. So yeah, I suppose this is the part where you say whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. But yeah, that's what happened to me. I'm not gonna let the situation define me, but I'm not gonna forgive and forget either, because like I said probably several times by now, nobody, even though they're supposed to be your family, has the right to put their hands on you, and you don't have to deal with that. And that's that. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you made it all the way this far, even if you like skipped through a little bit, I don't know, at least I got that view, I guess. But yeah, I appreciate you guys for watching and listening to me, and being a part of me like telling my story, because it's important. It was important for me to like release, and you guys are a part of that. So thank you.